Obama to give the keynote address at the Democratic Convention in Boston. The speech would be his chance to introduce himself to the world. And if he was successful, it could be the defining moment of his political career.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
42-year-old Barack Obama was a relatively unknown state senator from Illinois when he was picked by the Democrats to give the keynote speech at the 2004 National Convention.
He understood the importance of what that speech meant to his political career, and I think to the nation in general.
On July 27, 2004, Obama took his first step onto the world stage.
The crowd was really juiced up and was really hoping that this guy would deliver.
The next senator from the state of Illinois, Barack Obama. Thank you so much. Tonight is a particular honor for me because, let's face it, my presence on this stage is pretty unlikely. My father was a foreign student, born and raised in a small village in Kenya.
Somewhere in the first 2 minutes or so of his speech, I think we were all transformed from friends that were nervous to Americans who were captivated by the persuasiveness and eloquence of a future leader.
I stand here knowing that my story is part of the larger American story, that I owe a debt to all of those who came before me, and that in no other country on earth is my story even possible.
He wanted to draw on his own story to talk about a higher destination where we understood each other as fellow Americans and not as combatants.
My parents shared not only an improbable love, they shared an abiding faith in the possibilities of this nation. It's the hope of slaves sitting around a fire singing freedom songs. The hope of immigrants setting out for distant shores. The hope of a skinny kid with a funny name who believes that America has a place for him too.
It was inspiring. And when was the last time we felt inspired? I mean, truly inspired by a politician's words.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
It was a very, very important speech for that point in time in this country. And we were a country that were focused on the differences between the red states and the blue states. And nobody had focused on the commonalities. And I think Barack stepped on the stage as a person representing all Americans.
Choices when easier ones were available.
He instantly became one of the country's premier black leaders and perhaps one of its premier leaders in general.
In Illinois, Republicans were scrambling to find someone to run against Obama for the United States Senate seat. They needed a candidate to replace Republican Jack Ryan, who had dropped out after sexual allegations became public. The new Republican candidate was Alan Keyes, a former ambassador and conservative radio talk show host.
Mr. Keyes was a black Republican. They felt like they could get some black votes, siphon off some black votes away from Senator Obama.
Keyes took some very conservative right-wing positions and tried to distort the public's perception of Barack.
Logically speaking, excuse me. I know that that Senator Obama sometimes has a hard time getting from A to B, but from A to B is a simple, logical step, which I believe most people in the state of Illinois have the common sense to see.
I think your logic wasn't that complicated. It was just wrong.
Well, see, but
he accused Obama of nefarious things. He challenged his Christianity. He challenged his blackness. These things just didn't play well at all with the Illinois electorate.
people of the...
Less than 1 month before the election, Obama was 47 points ahead of Keyes.
We think we're going to do well tomorrow. No doubt about it.
On November 2nd, 2004, the votes came in. That night, Obama, his wife Michelle, and their 2 daughters gathered to watch the results on television. By 9 o'clock, it was clear. 43-year-old Barack Obama would be the nation's 5th African-American senator.
70-some-odd% of the people in the state of Illinois, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Republican, Democrat, chose this candidate in overwhelming numbers.
Thank you, Illinois!
He's come into office with an immense amount of expectations on him. It is a burden to be the highest-ranking black elected official in the country. You are going to be speaking for millions of people who are looking to you to voice their frustrations.
Now on Capitol Hill, Obama remains outspoken on issues that are important to him. And he has also taken an active role in Hurricane Katrina relief efforts.
What's your name? What's your name, sweetie?
So many of the people who were left behind were poor, were black. I think it underscored some fault lines in our society that he felt he had to speak to.
We as taxpayers have to be interested and concerned in making sure that the millions of Americans who've been devastated by Hurricane Katrina actually get the help that they need.
He also understands that for him to be as productive as he can as a public official, that he needs to speak for everyone.
I was raised as an Indonesian child and as a Hawaiian child and as a black and white child. Part of what I benefit from is a multiplicity of cultures that all fed me.
His background and his experiences have all culminated into the person he is right now. He can walk into any cultural situation and feel very comfortable. Being the west side of Chicago, or being Indonesia, or being West Africa.
I love you. Hey, Mama.
Barack has a fundamental belief that we ought to be about something larger than ourselves, and that if you can spend your life creating better communities, a better country, a better world, that's a worthy life.
Thank you, guys.
I think he's going to be president of the United States someday. There's just not any doubt in my mind. I'd love to still be alive when it happens.
I think the day is going to come, and maybe sooner than we think, that he'll be given a chance to even rise to higher levels in public office. There's no end in sight for this man's talent, and I think there's so much more that he can bring to the country.
This is the Biography Channel.
You want to be yourself, but you're not allowed to be yourself.
This is the Biography Channel.
I was just beside myself with anger and disappointment.
This is the Biography Channel.
I'm the only actress he knows you have to pay to keep your clothes on.
Reality meets personality, only on the Biography Channel.
Biography Channel. What a concept!